back here on the couch all by myself. I did the midweek wrap-up already by myself, so let's do it one more time. Welcome to the SmackDown Rundown. Now, I'm just going to get right into it. We open up with Roman Reigns. He's getting ready to take on Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas decides to, I guess, kind of compare himself to Roman Reigns. Saying that, they both went to Suplex City, but he survived. And pretty much saying that Roman Reigns isn't going to walk away from Hell in a Cell when he goes against Bray Wyatt. And then he tells him to believe that. Needless to say, it pissed Roman off a little bit. This match wasn't too super long. There wasn't very many long matches on this episode of SmackDown. Roman Reigns has the upper hand on Bo Dallas, just beating him down, and Bo Dallas does a timeout. He wants to shake hands, and then Bo Dallas ends up kicking Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns doesn't sell it, and then he kicks him again, and Roman Reigns doesn't sell it, and then Roman Reigns ends up hitting him with a Samoan drop, hitting the Superman punch, and then spearing Bo Dallas for the win. And then Roman gets on the mic, and he had a really awkward promo. Me and Thomas Wolfe gave him some pretty good credit to his promo on Raw, but this one just felt like he was like grabbing at words. And he's like, "Oh, this sounds cool." He's comparing Bray Wyatt to the devil, and that the only way to beat the devil is to ride straight into hell. He was just trying too hard. Bray Wyatt ends up coming up on the Tron and says, "You know what? You're not even worthy of me coming down to the ring tonight," saying that of all the sins that Roman Reigns has, his pride is going to be his undoing. But even though he's not going to come down and talk to Roman Reigns face to face tonight, he says, "This Monday on Raw, I will deliver unto you a prophecy." So we're going to get some sort of final, stare down between Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns before we get into Hell in a Cell next week. So I'm really interested to see what that turns into, because this is going to be one of those Hell in a Cells. I think we're going to get something very... We know we're going to get physicality, but this one I feel like is going to have a certain level of physicality that makes us forget that we're not going to get blood. I mean, we might even get blood. God knows we're going to get it with Lesnar. But this is going to be a very physical match, and I'm really interested to see what they do on Raw to really set up what extra tension they plan on doing heading into the pay-per-view. And then we move into a rematch from Raw. We have, first off, we have Stardust and the Ascension hanging out at ringside. Stardust has a little sign that says the Stardust section. Like I said, this is a rematch from Raw. This is King Barrett and Sheamus taking on Neville and Cesaro. This match I felt was actually better than their one on Raw. And they still did exactly what they needed to do. Apparently, based on the sign, me and Kevin Hawk talked last week on SmackDown that Stardust had the weird little cards that he was doing, deciding who his next opponent is going to be. So apparently the cards told him to go after Cesaro. That's kind of what I'm guessing here. But yeah, this is a great rematch. Lots of good chemistry. The heels, King Barrett and Sheamus working very well as a tag team. The combination of speed and strength on Neville and Cesaro's side works very well to their advantage as well. But we have Cesaro and Sheamus are in the ring. Cesaro goes for the swing. Sheamus is able to get out of it and grabs the briefcase. And as he's going to hit Cesaro with it, Cesaro double leg takedown, goes for the swing again, and this actually causes Sheamus to drop the briefcase. Now, while the briefcase is there, the referee picks it up and goes to put it out of the ring. This allows Wade Barrett to slide in the ring, hit the bullhammer on Cesaro, go out and actually hold Neville so he can't break up the pin. Sheamus pins Cesaro and picks up the win again for him and Wade Barrett. I think Obviously, we can't do anything about it right now because Sheamus has the money in the bank, but I feel like these two would fit very well in a tag team. I saw an article not too long ago talking about how Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns should get into the tag division. And I think that would be great for these four guys because, no one really sees, the fans themselves don't really see Roman Reigns as a top tier guy. And the company isn't going to give it to Dean Ambrose. And, Wade Barrett and Sheamus all kind of fluctuate. The four of them kind of fluctuate in that same kind of area. So I feel like having, these two teams, I think, would be a really good addition to an already great tag team division. We can, get some interesting combinations, get some really cool title matches. But, yeah, Barrett and Sheamus making a great tag team, winning again for the second time this week against Neville and Cesaro. Then we had a really quick match. We have Ryback out at ringside, and we have Kevin Owens taking on Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder didn't get an entrance. They actually came back from commercial. He was already in the ring. They were playing Ryback's music. And then Kevin Owens came out. Owens obviously is the one they're putting over. Ryder got a little bit of a flurry, kind of hitting his usual moves. But ultimately, he got stopped, got hit with the pop-up powerbomb, and got beat. And then Ryback actually slid in immediately after the match to try and attack Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has gotten inside Ryback's head, and he has completely flipped that monster switch for Ryback. He is on a tear, and he wants to get his hands on Kevin Owens so bad. And I feel like that's going to be his undoing at Hell in a Cell. I think he might he might unintentionally, because obviously he wants to win the Intercontinental title, but I feel like his aggression is going to get the better of him, and he's going to end up getting himself disqualified. Or he's going to get so out of his mind that Owens is going to be able to take the advantage over him. It'll be interesting to see, but spoiler alert for next week's predictions, I am voting for Kevin Owens to retain the Intercontinental title. Then we had Natalya was walking through the back. She's getting ready to go to her locker room, and she meets up with Paige. And Paige apologizes to her, for the way their relationship is, and she talks about how she has a lot of pressure and how she's constantly trying to make herself better. And Natty kind of sees what she's talking about. That she came onto the main roster real hot and heavy, immediately winning the Divas title. She won it a couple times. And now she just has this bar that she has to try and get over every time, and she said that it messes with her and it makes her not think clearly. And Natty kind of agreed and said, I understand, and here's this you do have a long way to go as far as earning my trust back, but this is a good start. So. Interesting thing they're doing with the Divas here. Speaking of Divas, so we talked about on Raw that they revealed Rusev and Lana are actually engaged, and so this actually kind of ruins this storyline that Thomas Wolfe hates. But we had it all kind of culminate here, possibly. I'm not really sure. We had Dolph Ziggler take on Rusev. And we had Summer Rae as a special guest referee. Summer Rae actually plays a very good referee. Obviously, she was in favor of Dolph. She had a quick count when Dolph was pinning Rusev. Rusev got a pin on Dolph, and she took her sweet ass time. Dolph and Rusev had a really good match though. Very fast pace, lots of back and forth. I like the fact that Rusev can play the dominant one, but can also just kind of go with the flow. And it's it was a real tit for tat in this one. It was a good match, but Rusev ends up getting mad at Summer for taking her time with the pin, and she starts yelling, or he starts yelling at her, and she's like, "I'm the ref, you can't yell at me," and ends up slapping him. He gets hit with the zigzag, and Ziggler picks up the win. And then as Rusev storms off, Ziggler's trying to leave, and Summer brings him back in and says, "Hey, Rusev cheated on me, but that also means that Lana cheated on you, and so you can't deny our chemistry." Blah blah blah, trying to sweet talk him, and Ziggler says, "You know what? I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to play me, and I'm not gonna play this game." And so he walks off, and Summer's kind of left by herself. So I'm kind of hoping this is the end of the storyline, because I thought it was good with the whole like couples thing going on, and it was interesting for a bit, but now it's just kind of it's lost its luster. Like there's nothing, they cannot save this, and I'm glad they didn't try and like swerve it somehow. God knows what their plans are for the next coming weeks, but let's hope that this is dead and buried. We had a really funny backstage promo, Renee Young talking to the Dudleys and Dean Ambrose, who will be in our main event against the New Day. Some interesting comments from both the Dudleys and Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose is actually in his hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio, so he's hyped up. He's got the Dudley Boyz, who are just always ready to whoop some ass. Say that Dudleyville is kind of like Cincinnati, so they're looking forward to taking out the New Day later on. This next match I had a problem with at the end. The match itself was good up until the end. We had the Primetime Players taking on Luke Harper and Braun Strowman. Now, if you know about the matches that are happening at Hell in a Cell, you know that Braun Strowman and Luke Harper will be taking on Randy Orton and Dean Ambrose in tag team action. So obviously they're going to put them over and try and make them look strong. But they did give some good offense to the Primetime Players. Titus O'Neil was actually able to overpower Braun Strowman for a bit. He ended up taking it to Luke Harper, got the hot tag to Darren Young. Darren Young came in. He did a cool spinning neck breaker to Luke on the apron because he couldn't hit his little back suplex that he usually does. And it was all going really good. And then you had this standoff between Darren Young and Luke Harper. Darren Young actually tries to do an O'Connor roll on Luke, and as he pushes him into the ropes, Braun makes the tag. He back rolls, he goes for the pin, and Braun ends up hitting him and knocking him off of Luke. Titus gets in. Oh no, I take that back. Darren Young ended up getting a super kick from Luke Harper. Titus gets in and knocks Luke out of the ring and then follows him, leaving Braun and Darren in the ring by themselves. He didn't get hit. There was no camera view of him getting, attacked by Luke Harper. There was nothing. He just left Darren Young to get choked out and lose to Braun Strowman. Why? Like, the match itself was good, and I knew that the Primetime Players weren't going to pick up the win, but you completely ruined anything good you had by having this what the fuck kind of ending. Like, I don't usually want to harp on Titus O'Neil. That's usually, the two guys that sit on either side of me's job. But what the fuck, Titus? You knocked out Luke Harper. You did what you had to do. Why did you try and follow him? He was done, and you left Darren Young to get choked out by Braun Strowman. Whatever. We move on. We had singles action in the Divas division. We had Charlotte taking on Alicia Fox. Good match between these two girls. They seem to have really good chemistry. I'm hoping that maybe Alicia Fox will eventually get a title match against Charlotte. I think they could pull off a really awesome title match. But nothing too out of the ordinary here. A lot of their usual moves. Charlotte ends up winning with the spear and the figure 8. As soon as she makes Alicia Fox tap out, though, Team Bella gets in and attacks her. Becky tries to help out, but they are outnumbered. They are the only two out there. Natty's not out there, and obviously Paige is not there either. So Team Bella's attacking Becky and Charlotte, and Paige actually makes the save. They take out Team Bella and fight them off, and like Charlotte and Becky are like, wait, what the fuck is going on right now? And Paige is like super excited. And this actually translated into, we came back from commercial. Paige is actually chasing Charlotte and Becky down the hall, saying, "Hey guys, it was, wasn't that great?" And Charlotte and Becky are like, "Whoa, you've done some really messed up things. We can't just like start trusting you all of a sudden. It doesn't work like that." And she goes, "I get it." And Charlotte says something like, "One day at a time." So like, they'll try and figure stuff out. And so we have this weird moment where you see agents and referees start running by. And Paige goes, "Oh yeah, okay, cool, yeah, Team PCB back together." And she takes off. And Charlotte and Becky realize where the referees and the trainers are going, and it's Natalya's locker room. Natalya has been attacked, and she is laying on the ground in her locker room. She's clutching her ribs, or her. It was in the stomach region, whatever it was. So apparently, what I can gather, because the last time we saw Natalya, she was talking to Paige, and Paige was right outside of her locker room. So something must have happened. I'm interested to see what this translates into. Maybe we get like people pointing fingers, and then it actually turns out to be someone else, or I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing with this. And then we go into our main event where the Dudley Boyz and Dean Ambrose take on the New Day. This was really fun. The beginning, we kind of had a slow burn to it, and then it was popping off. There was just, everyone was doing something. It was just a move after move after move after move. Everyone had some really great chemistry. Ambrose, just a chaotic ball. He's going all over the place. He's attacking people. He's diving onto people. So we get the end, and we're at this like move after move after move. Dean Ambrose actually gets shoved off of the top rope by Xavier Woods. He was going for an elbow drop on Big E, so Big E gets out of the way. And then Xavier Woods and Kofi both get taken out by Bubba. Now Bubba backdrops Kofi and then does his Dusty Rhodes punch combo on Xavier Woods, and it actually busted Xavier Woods' nose. There was a report earlier in the week when the tapings happened that he broke his nose. Apparently that's a lie. He went on and said, it was just a bloody nose. It's happened before, but it's not broken. But this really led to the end of the match here, because Big E is on the outside, and Woods gets knocked out from the Dusty punches, and then Kofi gets hit with the 3D just out of nowhere. A really great transition into the 3D. It was very well done. Very much like their match at MSG. So Bubba goes for the pin and ends up getting hit with a trombone. And Xavier Woods with a bloody nose, and he looks so mad. He is so unbelievably upset. He's just whooping the shit out of all three of them with the trombone. Dean barely gets back in because he's on the outside. Both the Dudley Boyz get beat down. Bubba gets kicked in the face by both Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, and then Devon ends up getting the Midnight Hour. And just another great, aggressive, dominant moment for the New Day. They're really proving that they are a dominant force in WWE. And the fact that they have those tag team titles, I don't know who I'm going for in this tag team title match, because the New Day are so dominant right now, and the fact that there is three of them, I feel like the Dudleys need to have a backup plan. And I'm kind of hoping this maybe leads to Spike coming back for a second or something. It'll be interesting to see what they do. but a great moment for the New Day. A pretty entertaining episode of SmackDown all around. Some interesting stuff, some not so interesting stuff. There's a lot of things that are in transition, and it'll be interesting to see how it translates into Hell in a Cell. And then post Hell in a Cell, we're leading into the end of the year. We got Survivor Series and TLC coming up next. So it'll be. I'm very intrigued as to how the rest of the year is going to play out before we start getting into Mania season again. It's already almost Mania season again. This is ridiculous. I feel like I was just at Mania yesterday, but I wasn't. I did the midweek wrap up yesterday. But this is the end of the SmackDown Rundown. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the people that have been liking and reblogging the video. Thanks for subscribing. Please keep subscribing. We appreciate it. If you want to get a hold of any of us, click all those links down in the description. We got Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Reddit. We have 2 emails. You can get a hold of all of us at fanstalkwrestling@gmail.com. You can talk to Kevin Hawk exclusively at Kevin_Hawk636@hotmail.com. Be sure to check out our Facebook where we post all kinds of pictures and stuff. Go down to those comments. Let us know what you thought about SmackDown. What do you think about Hell in a Cell coming up? We're going to be doing predictions next week. Kevin Hawk may be back coming up this Monday when we put up our indie news. If not, you'll be seeing my mug all by myself again. But then next week, you will get Kevin Hawk. You will get Thomas Wolfe. We'll be doing a Raw review. And we will be doing Hell in a Cell predictions. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.